We might take the usefulness of fingerprint identification for granted, but at the time that it was invented in the late 19th century, it wasn't entirely obvious that this was the best way to identify people. In fact, there was another, completely different identification system that was popular at the time. This had been developed by French police official Alphonse Bertillon and is often referred to as Bertillonage, following the name of its inventor. Bertillon's system involved taking a series of 11 anatomical measurements of the body, listed here, and also recording various other physical characteristics, such as the color of the eyes, shape of the ear, and other distinguishing marks. This information was used to identify individuals. In the late 19th and early 20th century, many people viewed Bertillon's system as being more scientific and really more sophisticated than fingerprinting. It relied on methods that were used in physical anthropology, which was an important science at the time. Bertillon's records also included a much greater volume of information about the physical appearance of the body, including photographs of the person who was being measured. In the end, however, this sophisticated system of identification by body measurements was given up and replaced in police agencies around the world with fingerprinting. The reason that this happened was that fingerprinting had certain advantages. In Bertillon's system, those who measured bodies needed special training in order to take accurate and consistent measurements of all of the parts of the body that had to be recorded. The officials who did this work also needed special equipment to take the measurements and to make sure that the person who was being measured was in the proper position. These challenges were compounded when this system was used in a large country or a large colony, where there was a need for many officials to be trained in the system, and where it would be harder to supervise their work in order to make sure that they weren't making mistakes. By contrast, taking fingerprints was less complicated, and it could be done more consistently as well. It also took much less time than taking all of the different body measurements that were needed in Bertillon's system. In the end, fingerprinting was simply more efficient. One other reason that fingerprinting ultimately won out over Bertillon's system is that finger marks left at a crime scene in sweat, blood, or other substances could be compared with the fingerprints of a suspect. Such finger marks are referred to as latent fingerprints, and the field of latent fingerprint evidence would ultimately become one of the most important areas of fingerprinting and forensic science. Bertillon's system, which focused on the measurements of the body itself, provided no way of connecting traces left behind by the body at a crime scene to an individual person. Over the early 1900s, fingerprinting was adopted by police agencies in the Americas, Europe, Africa, and Asia. In the process, it not only replaced Bertillonage as the most popular identification method, but soon became a standard practice, much as it is today, that is used in countries across the globe.